Welcome to Deep Thought. Many people lie and deflect to avoid facing themselves. And what I mean by lie and deflect, well, they lie to themselves. And then when somebody tried to point out something or even talk about something that they know really affects them, they deflect. You know, like when you point out something about somebody, or you speak in general about somebody that triggers them, they deflect. They'll say, well, you do this. It's like when, you know, a man will say something about women. And, you know, whether it's true or not, usually it has some validity. You know, the women say, well, y'all do this. It was like, well, we're not talking about that right now. Or men do the same thing. You say something, because I know it's on my channels when I say, well, you know, men need to do this and stuff, and I'm speaking specifically to men. You know, you'll get some guys every now and then to say, well, the women do this and stuff. It's like, look, I'm not worried about them. I'm trying to help men to develop, you know, because when people deflect, they don't want the light shined on them, and they lie to themselves. Yeah, of course, yeah, they lie to others, but they mainly lie to themselves, because they don't want to face the reality of their situation. You know, I thought about that years ago when my book first came out it came out in September of 2000. And I was on this website, and, you know, I would talk about my book. I was on there under my own name, and somebody bought the book, and I never forget what they said. They say, I have to face that. I'm a nice guy. And the way they said it, I ain't gonna lie, I felt a little bad for them, but it was actually a good thing because they faced the reality. Let's just be real out here. I've talked about the mask that people wear to present to other people, but sometimes that mask doesn't come off at night. When we look in the mirror, we don't see what's actually there. We tell ourselves a bunch of lies. We'll say, oh no, I'm the bomb. Oh no, I'm attractive, even though, you know, nobody is reflecting that in the real world. Oh, I'm smart, even though you're in a situation that, you know, you got to question your own intelligence, but you don't. You know, we lie to ourselves. We pump ourselves up when it's not the reality. We're not dealing with the reality of our situation. You know, we'll say, oh, everything is fine. And we know that we're struggling every single day. Now, it's all right to say, you know what? I'm going through some stuff, but I'm working through it. Okay, that's reality. Or these issues come up, but this is what I need to do. Okay, you can do that. But when you act like nothing is wrong or everything is going good, and you know, you deep down know that it's not, but you lie to yourself, or you don't want to face it, or you get mad and triggered when somebody even said, they're not even talking to you directly, they talking in general. You know, as the old saying is, hit dogs holler. Hit dogs holler. Like when I do different videos on this channel, any channel, and somebody has a negative reaction, I'll say, bing, got one. Because, like, here's an example. I use it from my main men's channel. You know, I talk two things: man gets woman, and also a man's sovereignty. Which, ironically, the stuff on men's sovereignty, which has nothing to do with women, but a man truly developing himself, get the fewest views. Well, that in my inspirational videos. I do something about man gets woman, get more views. If one of the rare occasions I say something about women, oh, I get a ton of views. Look, but one of the things I notice, if I say something specific about what a man needs to develop, according to my philosophy, oh, you get some guy, well, no, not it, or something. Maybe some guy I can tell. See, one of the things you can tell who regularly comments on your channel, you can tell, is you can always look, and it'll even tell you what comments. You can actually tell. Any content creator knows this, or should know it. You can actually tell how many times, and you can actually see the comments when somebody has said something on your channel. And it'll be a comment from somebody who's never commented, never shown any indication. You don't recognize the screen name. There's no record of them commenting. And they'll come out of the way to watch it. And it's like, okay, got one. I triggered them, you know? or they'll try to deflect or something. I'm like, nah, I'm just speaking my truth. That's what I tell them if I bother to respond to them, and this is what I've seen, but they get mad. Like one of my favorites is when guys get on there and say, I don't care about women. Why are you on the channel? If I'm doing a video talking about women, why are you watching it? How to get a woman. What a man needs to do to get a woman. If you don't want to get a woman, why are you watching the video? Why are you commenting there? Seriously. Because I know myself, I don't watch any videos on YouTube, any place else that deal with subjects I don't care about. And then, it's funny with that real quick. Some guys will say, well, it was in my recommended. Okay. I get a ton of videos recommended. I never look at them. And if you have some automatic play thing, and I would say this, if something come on and I look at the subject, like delete, go on to the next one. I mean, jeez. But the thing is, people, it really comes down to people, they want to hide behind something. See, like I said, that mask, yeah, you have it for the outside world, but sometimes it's for ourselves. And I understand actually, because people do it to survive, but my thing is, if you got some problems, the only way you're really going to solve them is to face them and be realistic about it, know what you need to do, I mean, if you got some health problems, if you need to put on some weight for health reasons, if you need to lose some weight for health reasons. You know it. And I'm saying health reasons. I ain't talking about even trying to attract somebody. If you're not feeling well. And like I said, if your life is not going the way you want it to go. And trust me, I've seen it. I've seen people in some jacked up situations and they try to make it sound like it was a good thing. No, it's not. It's jacked up. You know it. I know a person ain't giving away their information. They would always try to do that, but then they finally admitted everything is jacked up and they just barely surviving. And I told the person, they might even see this video, I told the person, it's like, okay, you gotta make a choice where you wanna go for the rest of your life. You gotta make a choice. There ain't no shame in like falling. We all fall. You gotta get up, but you gotta be honest. Like when people lie and deflect, they actually hurt themselves. And like I said, it's not even lying to the outside world. It's not even lying to the outside world. It's lying to yourself. That's the worst lie, is when you lie to yourself. That's the worst lie. Because people if you lie to people on the outside, they might or might not believe you. It's a problem, but the thing is, they might not believe you. But when you believe you lie to yourself and then even start to believe your own lies, that's hurting you. That's the one you preventing yourself, But you got to face yourself. You got to be honest about yourself. What have you done? You're like the situation you're in, I don't care what it is. What did you do to get in that situation? What did you do? If you don't like the job you on, okay, what did you do to avoid that job? What did you do? Why'd you have to get there? And saying, I had to make money for something. Okay, well, there's plenty of jobs. Why are you on that particular job? And then what are you doing about it? Any situation, like you on that job if you got a situation with coworkers, which I've had. Now I've gotten into it with coworkers, but then I look at it and say, okay, what am I doing? Oh, I'm the type of person who I don't kowtow easily. That's why I work for myself. I say, okay, let me do something about it. It ain't them, it's me. I ain't meant to work for other people. So what I do, I've been working for years. I've been independent sometimes and still had to keep a job. I just work to the point where I can be independent and stay that way. And that's it. I had to face myself. Because I be on jobs. That's one thing I ain't lied to myself. If I was on a job I ain't like, I'd be like, I don't like it. I'll survive it, but I don't like it. You get people doing that. You got people in relationships, they know they can't stand something. But they'll lie to themselves. They'll say, oh, it's great. When the real issue is they just don't want to be alone. They don't want to be alone. Or they just want steady sex. And just be honest with what you're doing in the relationship. You see the bad stuff, but you're just like, well, you know what? they can back that thing up right, or they can stroke good. You know, just be honest. You know, or you just there because you're scared to be by yourself. You know, be honest with yourself. You know, don't lie to yourself. And then, you know, when somebody even mentions something that really touches you, don't deflect. Just sit back and say, okay, why is this triggering me? Because I got my triggers. People don't realize it though. You know, it's funny. I've never seen anybody actually hit one of my triggers. And there's only really one major one. Nobody's ever touched on it. We're gonna keep it that way. But if I'm touched on it, it was like, I remember one time I was touched on that major thing. And it wasn't online or anything, it was in the real world. Then I sat back and said, why does that trigger me? Oh, okay. Okay. So I started working on some stuff. So anyway though, many people lie and deflect to avoid facing who they are. The thing is, ultimately, you gotta be comfortable with who you are. You gotta be who you are. That's all you can be in this world. You know? You gotta face it, good and bad. And if it's bad, you don't like who you are, you have the power to change that. Okay? So anyway, that's all I have for today, y'all. I'll get back with y'all. Peace and blessings.